we are looking at the bans right now, and one of the unique things about Naqcl is that the map pool is decided pretty much by a vote. People, as the previous Naqcl tournament concludes, a couple days after, you know, a vote gets put up, and people can actually, you know, try and decide which maps they'll be actually putting up in the map pool. Because, yeah, generally, you know, a lot of people just do not want to watch, or they do not even want to play Blood Run, and, you know, stuff like that. Blood Run's probably, like, the biggest offender, even though, like, even when we saw Blood Run being in the map pool, it still did not ever get picked. Probably shows just how much that map is disliked by so many people. So it generally allows us to actually get a format where, you know, all the maps are, they might not be the preferred choices for some of these players, but they are at least acceptable. We do have variations from time to time. Insomnia, for example, was included, if I'm not mistaken, a couple weeks ago. That's not here. Blood Run, as I said, it was included last week. Nobody even picked it, as to my knowledge at least. But yeah, very, very old school map pool this week, if I'm not mistaken. There's, yeah, this is a very old school map pool, I feel like. First map to be played is going to be Awoken, Broomsley starting out with the Strog and Peaker ban. And Fosho replying by picking Ranger, and Broomsley actually going for Anarchy. Always interesting to see Anarchy being picked on Awoken. There's definitely a very strong rotation that you can establish, and, you know, you can just run around the map, because it is pretty circular, and you can just secure so much positioning, so much map control just by running that circle. But gotta be careful with Fosho's potential damage burst, you know, with that Ranger Orb. Oh, it's scary, especially if Broomsley, if he goes down once, he's very susceptible to giving up one more or even 2 to 3 frags if he's not careful. But I believe that Brooms knows what he's doing. Map number 2, that's going to be Corrupted Keep. Fosho banning Slash. I have a suspicion this might actually be a Molten Falls ban, something more along those lines. Broomsley actually picking Keel, which is not something we see very often. Neither do we see Sorlag being picked very often on Corrupted Keep. 2 rather unorthodox picks. Molten Falls is going to be the final map. Broomsley banning Clutch. Fosho picking Scalebearer. Oh dear. And Broomsley going for the Athena pick. The Corrupted Keep picks really, they confuse me for... oh dear. Oh dear. Fosho saying he needs 1 minute. But otherwise we are pretty much ready. And it's gonna be starting soon. Hello everyone, Necropsis, Kairos, James Dean. Fosho in the Twitch chat already saying, F that strong ban, that's so dumb. Yeah, the Strog, if I'm not mistaken, is one of the most played champions for Fosho. Can't blame him. Strog supremacy, guys. Living legend, Martin the Sigma boy himself. Nice to see you. Nice to see all of you here. Anyways, exactly. It is none other than living legend, the Sigma boy. Right, what I wanted to do, I wanted to set up the overlays and the predictions so that you guys can start thinking about that. Yeah. Old School Izzy, welcome to the stream. As usual, the first round is generally gonna be kind of all over the place. The NA duel scene is kind of thrown across the entire spectrum of the ranks. You know, you don't really have such a consolidation in the like upper diamond level as you have in EU, but it still gets us, you know, some exciting games to watch, and it gives the guys some practice and something to look back upon. So it's still very very fun, very cool to get games going. Do I hear correctly? I do hear correctly. The map is slowly loading in. My Giga Chat voice. I don't have a Giga Chat voice. It's the microphone, guys, I swear. It's just the microphone. Oh boy. I do have to say, it feels great that I actually forgot to... It looks like I forgot to close the last week's prediction. Oops. Well, congratulations to anybody who voted Celts. Predictions are up for the next 2 minutes. We're going to be starting out on Faux Show, the organizer of the tournament himself. He is largely participating just for the sake of it, you know, similarly to how Ion Fez, he obviously can't really stand up to Dramis, and the likes of Effortless, nobody really can, so hey. I might as well go for it. Ion's actually doing a similar thing in EU. Actually, great trap there set up by Faux Show. It's a pretty decent start. Unfortunately, loses out on the Mega in the end, and ends up having to retreat just this light armor. Heavy armor is also gonna go over to Broomsley. Broomsley actually now on the low ground. Faux Show, he's actually sticking around for a long time. Even the slightest touch of the railgun would have scored the first blood there. Another mega health goes over to Broomsley. Faux Show tries to Faux Show tries to escape with the rocket jump. Doesn't really go his way. Faux Show gets struck down by the LG. Broomsley, up to this point, it's been 1.5 minutes, and only one inject has been used so far. Actually, doesn't even need it. Looking like a pretty good start now for Broomsley. That initial fight over at the top mid was a little dicey. Broomsley, I like this move as well, you know, to stick around for a bit, see what your opponent is going to be doing, if you can get some damage in. Oh, but Broomsley actually gets pushed up the jump pad twice, and that's already got dicey. Misses the rail as well. Faux Show, he could be making this push. Broomsley missing his shotgun blast as well. Visibly upset. Not very happy. Missing his movement as well. Brooms, my man. This is what you get for interrupting my stream yesterday. It is the caster's curse, and you're experiencing it full force. Nice combo there, actually. After that sequence of failures there, pretty good execution there. Faux Show running right into Broomsley's face. I don't think that was even intentional. But this is This is already starting to not look very good. Oh, show he's completely out of control. Good LG. The two rails, they're definitely a powerful tool in Faux Show's toolbox, but what can you do? What can you do when the anarchy is just so stacked? Ooh, nice prediction rocket there, and the second one finishes off now the 6th frag already. Yeah, that was pretty swish. Again, like this move. Get some damage in first. You know, when you're at such a point of advantage, you might as well go for the damage first. Retreat to the major item later. Ooh, this is scary though. Ooh, ho! 5 health, but dear God, Faux Show. He may not have health, but he definitely has the balls. And that's actually now a 2nd frag. Broomsley trying to get a very quick refrag there, realizing just how low his opponent was. Doesn't really go his way. Broomsley, however, he does have the inject, and actually, yeah, it was used right now, so this is going to equalize the situation a little bit. Faux Show looks like he's missing out on the mega health, and mostly because of a mistime, tries to go for an all-in push, almost goes down. Broomsley himself, however, is on like 10 health. Faux Show not looking healthy, but somehow just evades everything coming out from Broomsley and gets a pretty good shot right off the spawn. Has to be careful now. He has a lot of armor, but a lot of that armor just does not matter when your health is so low, especially when your opponent has a DLG. Cuts right through it. For sure, actually taking this moment to say thank you in chat. 2 gentlemen. Ooh. This may cost Faux Show quite a lot as he retreats to the LG room. Probably had no idea when the heavy was coming up either. Another unfortunate attempt from top mid. And a very... Oof! This might even be a 2nd spawn frag. Broomsley actually setting up for a trap at the teleporter. Faux Show again, just kind of low on stack. Doesn't really... doesn't want to risk poking around the top mid. Doesn't want to risk poking around anywhere where he potentially could expose himself to Broomsley's wrath. Talking about Broomsley's wrath... Actually, Faux Show gave up Mega? What? I don't think he realizes just how low the Broomsley was. This Mega is just standing there. Nobody wants it. Finally, it's going to be picked up by Faux Show after Broomsley misses a jump. Nice opening rail there. Stacks are pretty much equal. 100 health on both players. Faux Show, for a moment, was a little bit critical there. Single rail could have finished him. Faux Show, so low. Broomsley, please. There we go. There you go. And we got BM Gauntlet coming out. Disregard whatever I said about gentlemen in this match. There are no gentlemen. They're out for blood. He may be Canadian, but he's ferocious. Faux Show seems to be in general just kind of out of position when it comes to a lot of these items. Broomsley making pretty good a good use of the knowledge he has regarding these spawns. Actually going right through the teleporter. Faux Show that entire time was still railable. Broomsley not hesitating to go for a rocket jump immediately after Faux Show spawns. Trying to set up another trap over at the tele exit. I don't think he realizes where Faux Show ended up, and there's gonna be some attempts by Faux Show to get some tribal damage, but nothing really connects. The heavy armor has been up for what feels like a minute now. I'm getting hiccups. I just had like dinner and I'm stuffed. Oh god. I am so stuffed. Broomsley, he does get away. Really surprised by for Faux Show not pushing that point of advantage he had there. I don't think he even realized just how low Broomsley was. Maybe didn't want to risk, you know, taking a direct rocket or two and trying to play it safe. But I guess it kind of doesn't matter. 10 frag difference, you know, 1.5 minutes remaining. Only so much you can do. But still, had the definite opportunity there to accomplish it just a little bit more. Some okay damage coming out from Broomsley. Again, we got that BM gauntlet. Ain't no one stopping this Canadian man. 45 seconds remaining. We're still at a 10 frag difference. Faux Show missing literally all of his LG. It is in fact Faux Show trying to come up the platform with a rocket jump, struck down midair by a rail. That's going to be map number 1, going to Broomsley. %8 voting for Faux Show. I'm glad to see that we have believers in chat. Complete prediction for Broomsley. I hope I selected the correct player. Yes, I did. Perfect. People are saying something in the chat. What did I miss? Nothing really. Map number 2, Corrupted Keep. This might be a slight disaster for our dear Faux Show. He might not just go down, he might go down in a not really as much of a blaze of glory as just a blaze. Starting out on Broomsley with the keel pick, which is not something we see a whole lot. Immediately securing the LG, which is a massively important weapon on this map. A good trap there by Faux Show, actually gets an incredible amount of damage just with the shotgun. I don't think he even had the rocket launcher there. First blood for him. He's kind of trapped now in the LG room, and Mega Health is not coming up anytime soon, but he still gets the second frag. A couple missed nailgun shots there by Broomsley cause him to miss out on that frag. Should have spammed more. When in doubt, spam more. Spam everything you got. All the grenades, all the plasma, everything. Faux Show off to a pretty good start. I may be... Well, okay. I was about to say that I may have underestimated Faux Show, and then he just gets evaporated. You know. Here come the fireworks. Oh dear. Broomsley trying to be super fancy there and almost sending himself off the map. Is this why he picked heal? Just so that he can defrag? Hey, I can't blame him. I like me some defrag. If that's his goal, then so be it. Go right ahead. Go right ahead, my man. Faux Show trying to apply some pressure over to Broomsley, who's stuck in the LG area, but that's not really working out in his favor, and he's even gonna be caught as he tries to maneuver over to heavy armor. That's already third frag. All of the advantage that Faux Show had gained at the very start, gone, evaporated. Broomsley does not even need to dodge. So confident is this man that he just stands still. He just stands still and lets the LG do the work. 2 to 4 now. Potential refrag. Oh, there it is. A drive-by shotgun blast by Faux Show. Some good grenades by Broomsley, but the point-blank shotgun blast by Faux Show doing some work as well. This is definitely way closer than I ever expected it to. Broomsley is going to be forced away from Mega Health. Faux Show again, I'm not sure if he realized just how low his opponent was. Definitely had an opportunity for a cheeky frag there. Some good defensive rockets, actually a direct. Oh, but Broomsley not in position in time to contest that heavy armor. In fact, might be going down to another frag. Faux Show's LG, however, letting him down. Slight mistime on the Mega Health, trying to stand on it like 2-3 seconds before it actually spawns. Ends up costing him the frag. Faux Show doesn't actually ever go through the teleporter. Sloppy fight from both players. But it is going to be Broomsley who ends up victorious there. But at what cost? You know, this is the scary thing. You got a lizard. You got a lizard who's now unbelievably stacked, you know. Already spawns with 125 and 75 health. And now there's also a heavy armor. I don't think Broomsley even realizes when the heavy armor was taken. He's not even full health at this point. Faux Show has nearly double, if not triple, the stack. Broomsley ends up giving up the heavy armor in the process. Some nice free damage being inflicted by Broomsley. Gets the light armor as well. Already moving on to the Mega Health. He's quite a bit early, and Faux Show, if he applies pressure here, he should be able to push our Naqcl player away. But Broomsley would just... with, I don't know, raw determination was convinced he can get something done there. Very close to the death. Faux Show's LG just a little bit off. Unable to find the frag, but it's now 4 to 7. 5 minutes remaining. Not impossible for Faux Show to start making a comeback. Broomsley hitting some grenades in the last moment, actually picking up that Mega Health. He was only 5 health. Fanciest frag of the match so far. My man just plain defrag here, and there just happens to be a lizard trying to chase him. Ryder, thanks for the raid, man. Well played last week, Stody. It was a pleasure to watch you. Show now getting 2 pretty quick frags in succession. Broomsley rather confused. Very visibly confused. Just judging by the chat. Show, he's trying to push away the Naqcl player. Actually, almost dies to the heavy machine gun, but it is not enough to take down Faux Show. Just 1 frag difference now, with 4 minutes remaining, so it's definitely viable for Faux Show to start making something work here. Broomsley, he has been trying to, it feels like, style on his opponent, and it's definitely worked. There's been a lot of moments where Faux Show just does not expect the crazy maneuvers that Broomsley is about to drop onto him. Oh dear, that's so unfortunate. Gets floated right next to the statue. There's quite a lot of corners actually right above the teleporter where you can get stuck on. Faux Show getting a pretty clean refrag thanks to the LG. Very good damage, not good damage whatsoever when it comes to the second frag, which Broomsley just comes in with the super nail gun. And yeah, nails the lizard to the wall. We got some super grenades as well, and the telefrag.
I think I might have missed it, and I just wanted to be sure.
Can anyone explain to me what the hell is Broomsley even doing, and how the hell is it working? I don't know. But those are really fancy grenade jumps, I have to say. 2.5 minutes remaining. A good rocket there by Broomsley is going to deny all of the mega health armor. All of the mega health picked up by Faux Show. You don't get armor from mega health. That's not how mega health works. The key word there is the health. Aggressive push by Faux Show. It ends with him getting the 9th frag. So again, just a 3 frag difference. Faux Show not super healthy, but he does have the heavy armor to circle back to. Great initial rocket, great rocket number 2, and the third one is very easy for him to land. Tries to actually go for a spawn frag there. Doesn't really work out. I think Faux Show actually deliberately delayed that spawn. So nice map knowledge there coming up from Faux Show. Realizing these little tricks, you know, that you can utilize to slow down the momentum of your opponent. Because if you don't really do those things, it can absolutely just backfire, you know, and you can start dropping frags one after another. Don't ask me how I know. Broomsley, again, trying to go for the super fancy plays there with the grenades. Not really working out. Takes a ton of damage. Just 1 minute remaining. Last thing that Broomsley wants to do right now is miss out on this heavy. 3 frags for Faux Show. This is absolutely possible. Decent LG from both players, and Broomsley's gonna reign victorious in that fight, but with only 2 health. That is... oh, that's heartbreaking for Faux Show, probably. He did start firing later than his opponent.
Here come the fireworks.
And, well, this looks like GG. Both players have, I guess they're just doing defrag now. They're actually just doing defrag now. Hey, you thought you were watching duels? No, it's defrag. Fooled ya. But there we go. A valiant effort by Faux Show. Valiant effort. Talking about effort, though, you know what's coming up. Well, you probably don't know what's coming up because you haven't looked at the brackets, most likely. But... well, I guess we shall look at the brackets. And what do we see in the brackets? Broomsley is going to be playing against Effortless. Ooh, Breakage actually going down to Anarchy. Anarchy already advancing over to round 3. Or did Breakage forfeit? Not sure. It says W and F. I hope that Breakage did not forfeit. Would be sad. But yep. Broomsley versus Effortless is what we're going to be witnessing now. My, oh my, oh my. We do have Carson back. We were missing Carson from last week. He definitely could have given Effortless some challenge. Carson, as I said, like, I think they're you know, players from two different ends of the spectrum. You know, Carson's kind of more reserved. He just plays, you know, a solid game of, you know, of Quake. He doesn't try to go for, you know, these super fancy plays. Doesn't really go for anything, you know, extraordinary. However, he just does it, you know, really well. Effortless, on the other hand, is all about style, and it's both his strength and both his weak point. Because when that style ain't styling, well, he's losing matches. Breakage apparently rage quit. That's unfortunate to hear. That's really unfortunate to hear. Hope all good with him. Ooh, there we go. We got Effortless in the lobby, so we're gonna be looking at the picks and bans momentarily. Last week, of course, if you are a returning viewer, you will remember that Effortless ended up actually playing against Dramis in the grand finals and taking one map away, if I'm not mistaken. So F versus Bro. Map number 1 to be played is going to be Deep Embrace, then immediately moving on to Awoken and followed up by Corrupted Keep. Very fast-paced overall. We'll see if we will even get to Corrupted Keep. Effortless banning Anarchy, Broomsley banning Clutch. That's absolutely a respect ban right there. Broomsley picking Athena on a Deep Embrace. I think this is as much of a comfort pick as it is a pick to deny it from Effortless. Athena can be just absolutely terrifying on Deep Embrace in the hands of somebody like Effortless. Awoken, it is going to be BJ Blazkowicz versus Sorlag. Again, a lot of Sorlags today. I don't know. Well, a lot. We've seen 2 so far. Corrupted Keep, a ban of... Wait, Eisen gets banned. Who bans Eisen these days? I don't really see Eisen ban, because it feels like there could just be so many better bans in general. But hey, if that's what he's going for, sure. Kinda surprised nobody went for Strong and Peeker there, but... Effortless actually going for Nix? Again, I keep forgetting that Effortless, he does like to go for these kind of unorthodox picks himself. Maybe it's just an NA versus EU kind of mentality thing, you know, where we're just, you know, completely out of the loop of what is the meta. NA actually is doing the right things and the EU is just doing their own thing. Who the hell knows? Who the hell knows? You know what I do know is that we are going to be going into the matches pretty soon. So I gotta set up some of the overlay stuff. But yeah, how much chances does our friend Broomsley have against Effortless? I don't want to be a doomsayer. I really don't want to be a doomsayer, but you know, Effortless, he was one of the more successful players from the North American QPL challengers, and as we've seen last week, it went it didn't go bad for him at all, given that, you know, he was away for more than a month. So Broomsley is gonna have to sweat pretty damn hard to actually get this victory. But hey, you never know. Also, hello Hondo. Hondo. That's a fun name to say. Broom vroom. Broom vroom indeed. Going to set up the predictions momentarily. Also, we haven't seen a whole lot of Slash being picked on Deep Embrace recently. I don't know why. It was popularized quite a lot by none other than Razy himself. And it was great. I'm glad to see Effortless actually still sticking around with that strat. Broomsley immediately shooting for the stars. Not wasting any time to get the height advantage at whatever cost he can. In this case, the cost was time. He does still have control over rail. I don't remember if Effortless was actually able to get it already or not. Ooh, good rockets there from Effortless at the very start. Well, if Effortless didn't have a rail before, he definitely does now. First frag, 30 seconds into the match. He's gonna be able to get one heavy for himself as well. Trying to push a Broomsley, and oh, he runs into a rocket. And almost, Broomsley was able to collect the mega health, but he was just 1 second too early. Love this move by Effortless as well to go immediately for the spawn damage rather than retreat back to mega health. The rocket launcher spawn, again, it's one of those things that you can't really do anything from, you know? You spawn, you see the teleporter, sorry, you spawn, you see the rocket launcher, and it's very tempting, you know, to just go and try and pick up that rocket launcher. Nope, can't do it. If you try to go for that rocket launcher 9 out of 10 times, you just take so much damage that you die. Very, very good performance there from Effortless so far. 5-0, 1 minute and 30 seconds in. Wasting no time. Full map control. He's got so much ammo that you would think that he hasn't even fired a single shot. All of the weapons, he just has everything that he could wish for, even denying some of the light armors. Well, some, there's only 2 of them on this map, but, you know. Effortless now chasing for his opponent, Broomsley. He's been able to at least slow down the pace of the game, and, well, that's... You know, that in itself is a short-term victory, but, well, he does end up going down in the end. It is very important against Slash not to just try your best not to give away frags. It is rather impressive, actually, that Effortless, even after such a long break, still remembers all of these spawn positions, how to force them, you know, all of these crazy angles, that he's able to exploit them at the speed that he does. Is anyone streaming the Ease 5000 match? Don't know. I unfortunately do not know. He was playing against whom? Against I don't remember. Dramas, if I'm not mistaken, should be streamed shortly over on Church of Quake. But yeah, we're following the lower parts of the upper bracket. Very, very clean kill actually there for Effortless. Broomsley realizes the trap that he's been put into. Tries to delay and confuse Effortless. Doesn't really work out. Again, just incredible speed coming out from our Slash player. Oh dear God, there we go. Broomsley sending Effortless off the map, and that's going to be the first frag for him, but he has so much work to do right now. He is already on Mega, which could be dangerous. He gets a really good rail, Effortless even missing out on his own. Tries to go for some pretty swish maneuvers here. Full control now on Broomsley. This is looking pretty good so far. Effortless doesn't even have a single point of armor, and the beautiful rocket. That was really something. That was just well executed overall. The LG, really good LG by Effortless, but most unfortunately for Brooms, he took so much damage that he can't really challenge Effortless, who only had the starting machine gun at that point, and that's really the only thing that you can do when you're stuck in that corner. You know, you can just wait it out, make your opponent think that, you know, maybe this is not where I spawned. But Broomsley now doing a pretty good job of trying to regain control. Very good damage there by Tribolt. Rails missing on both sides. Effortless, I think he's still railable. He has to be careful. Ooh, this is scary. Broomsley finally retreating back to the Mega Health. Effortless, he's regained enough stack to be able to challenge his opponent. Beautiful play there. Overall, pretty clean. Oh no, but Broomsley, he's out of hooks. He's out of hooks. He had to do a rocket jump. Didn't realize that he is out of hooks. And he was so late that Effortless was actually able to catch his opponent off guard. Effortless now, once again, looking for an opportunity to do a whole lot of damage on his opponent. Actually, rather noodly LG there from both players. Oh. Brooms, please don't go through that choke point. Good play there. Really nicely done to go around, you know, the other side of the wall with the speed that Athena gives you. And completely catch Effortless off guard. In this engagement, however, Broomsley, he's taken so much damage, and... Oy. Oy. Oh, dear. Somebody give Effortless a speeding ticket. There's no way that speed's legal. This is Deep Embrace, sir. We're not on the Autobahn. Our slash player now checking every corner very quickly. Actually going for a straight push and 2 direct rockets. This is one of the issues with light champions. You lose your overstack so quickly, and yeah. You lose your overstack so quickly, you don't even get a whole lot of armor in the first place. You end up dying fast. Did I see that correctly? Was Effortless even trying to get a gauntlet frag there? (15-5), and the chances of Broomsley's comeback are fading. 2 minutes remaining, make that 16-5. With so little time remaining, I can't see much of what anything Brooms can do. The execution here from Effortless has been just pretty damn sweet overall. I think, you know, both players are... Oh, that's the second ring out already from Broomsley. Could this be it? Is this the comeback incoming? No. Just no. Like that move, really just very patient play. works out flawlessly for him. So yeah, like, I think this is overall just a very good way, like, if you want to learn how to play Deep Embrace, I think this is just a lot of good notes to take here when it comes to at least playing, you know, an aggressive style of a Deep Embrace. The major items, screw the major items, you can get damage. You can also move around the speed of light. Oh, dude. I don't know what's wrong with the North Americans today, but they sure love to defrag today. We doing backwards, backwards crouches into hops. Effortless trying to show off some of his own Easter eggs on this map, by the way. Which, okay, I won't be able to show you. Damn, I do hope we get to see more Deep Embrace, because I do want to show off that that Easter egg. Makes sense why Effortless feels so confident on this map. Even has his own signature there. Well played by Effortless there. Right, map number 2 is Awoken. Right, this was the BJ versus Sorlag matchup. Brooms actually, like, around the midpoint of the match, it was honestly looking like Effortless might be in quite a lot of trouble, so I'll agree with you there, Cut, but he definitely stood his own. But yeah, once you give Effortless just a little bit, he's not satisfied with just a little bit. He takes everything. Actually everything. Right. We are back on Awoken.
Prepare to fight. Round begins in 3, 2, 1.
I guess we're gonna start out on our Sorlag player. The have funs have been called. Broomsley in the red corner playing Sorlag, immediately using Spit to dissuade the Polish-American whatever. I'm talking about BJ, not Effortless. I don't know where Effortless is actually in North America. Oh, pretty good rail there. Unfortunately, sticks around the corner just a little bit too long, allows Effortless to do a significant amount of damage with the dual LG, and I would be very surprised if Effortless loses this fight, and actually Effortless forced to retreat there, sent screaming. That went way better for Broomsley than, in my opinion, it had any right to. Another acid spit coming out. No connections, really. Effortless gonna tip his toes just a little bit, test the waters, but doesn't really achieve much. First frag for Effortless, 1 minute and 15 seconds in. Broomsley staying around. Not sure why. Did he mistime Mega? Did he really mistime Mega? Because it's completely not coming up at that point. He still had an opportunity to retreat over to rail, especially because of that heavy champion spawning stack. Oh, this might be a spawn frag. Spawn frags are quite hard to reliably pull off against heavy champions, and we can see that even Effortless, you know, somebody with his aim, not daring to challenge Sorlag in an LG duel. Dear God. 364 damage from Effortless with the LG alone. Broomsley even picked up the mega health mid-fight. Oh, what a combo. Dual-wield LG coming out. Broomsley is forced to retreat, forced to give up the heavy armor. He's forced up to give everything, including... Well, okay, not his life. Not yet. Don't jinx it, Leadhead. Very messy fight in the middle of the map. No real winner there. Arguably, Broomsley even coming out better on top there as he has position on heavy, which he immediately gives up. I don't know what that was about. Guys, I don't know what's going on anymore. Very nice rocket jump. Actually gets to a really good vantage point. I think a slight miscalculation there from Broomsley. He could have gotten that heavy armor. He could have gotten, I think, both of the major items there, and yeah, it just did not work out. But Broomsley, he's still getting pretty good defensive damage. And he's been able to at least slow the game down. Ooh, looked like he was gonna go off the map there. Thankfully for him, still within the bounds of the arena. Broomsley finally, after a prolonged chase, he's able to get his 7th frag. Just a very clean setup. Nicely done there. Effortless now looking at a stack that can challenge even the heaviest of champions. And with rails like that, he sure can challenge pretty much anybody. Dear God. Rocket launcher headshot. It's starting. Effortless. He's warmed up. He's warmed up and he's ready to just style on his opponent. Just insane LG coming out from our BJ player. How much LG is that? 47%, but I swear, some of these fights, it definitely feels like way more than that. Valiant effort there by Broomsley to try and get something done. But it's not meant to be. Goes down, gives up the 13th frag now for Effortless already. Nothing on the board for Broomsley, and, well, the time's ticking out. Couple mistakes there at kind of the middle part of the map, you know. Unnecessarily giving up some of those major items, perhaps. Ends up with him sending Effortless in just this cycle. The cycle of death. Effortless probably knows that Heavy's not even coming up. Actually ends up sending Broomsley off the map. Yeah, Broomsley doesn't seem to even have a clear idea of when the major items are coming up. Even now, the frag was scored and the mega health was picked up like when Broomsley spawned on the other side. I don't think he even realizes just how much of a delay there was. Dual wield comes out, runs out of ammo, and that's what Brooms needed. Oh my god, Broomsley just needed. Oh my goodness. Oh, the Americans sometimes. Well, okay, Broomsley's Canadian, but the Canadians are like that sometimes as well. Funny people, I tell you what. All it took was for Effortless to run out of ammo mid-fight. I'm so happy, Brooms. I'm so happy. Look at that pretty rainbow. That rainbow, you caused it, man. Those are... That's the rainbow of joy created by your plays. Oh, no, that was, it was like, honestly, on Deep Embrace, it was fun. It was really fun to watch, you know? You had a moment there where really it felt like Effortless was quite, under quite a lot of pressure. Sure, Awoken didn't go so well. But still, you got him. You got him in the end. What a beautiful scene. Like, honestly, like, yeah, if you hadn't gotten that kill, we wouldn't be watching this right now. Oh my. Okay, I was pretty confused about that Sarlag pick. It's not something you see on Awoken. Or Sorlag in general. So, like, you know, there's a lot of discussion these days about, what was it? About the Death Knight, you know, being a very poor champion, and well, it's been kind of brought up in the spotlight because in the next update he is going to be seeing significant changes. And, yeah. And, I think one of the other players, sorry, one of the other champions who's consistently been kind of weird in terms of balance has been Sorlag. Theoretically, you got a heavy champion stack, you got a damage ability, you got pretty good movement set. Theoretically, you have a lot of strength in that one champion. At the same time, she's just not very picked, and well, one of those reasons is that Sorlag is thick. Sorlag be thick. Anyways, let us see. Predictions? Did I close the predictions? $60-40. Look at so many people putting money on you, Brooms. Come on, dude. You had a solid chance there. Ease 5000 apparently has been just absolutely spanked by breakage. Broom is love, broom is life. Exactly. Right, I want to look at the brackets. How do I look at the brackets? Remind me. How do I stream? How do I do the stream thing? Right. So what do we have? So Ease 5000 is the first player to be eliminated from the tournament. Rendar versus Porkage. uh, wait, okay, let me just show you what, because I don't... What does this mean? Is this the correct reply? Okay, apparently that's the correct reply. I don't know, like, Effortless is making me quite uncomfortable. I'm blushing. Get on the podium? Nah, dude. Nah, I don't think that's a good idea. Now look him in the eyes. Who's gonna cast that? Anyways, what I want to do is... what I want to do is... look at the brackets first, then try and understand what is the current state of Carson versus Esports Ready. Does anyone know, is that being streamed? Because I do really want to see Carson versus Effortless. That's, I think, that's gonna be probably maybe a standout match. Because again, you have this dynamic, you know, of a very flashy player versus a more reserved, but just a very consistent player. I think that could be a pretty good one. Quake champions. Who's streaming? Who's streaming? Madar streaming? No. Deliberate Murder, our colleagues in Russia, are streaming something. Looks like it's pretty close to being over. But yeah, I'll restream Deliberate Murder while we're waiting for that. Am I doing this right? Hell yeah. Oops.
Хэви есть, неплохо было бы еще здоровым разжицом, как раз мега. Это что-то прям жестко подставляется, знает, что наверху противник. Все, бегаем.
Looks like it was GG's, not just a GG, so this was probably map number 2. I don't see Cthulhu having anything on the overlay indicating which map this is. I think that was map number 2. So we don't have to wait all that much longer, probably. There's a lot of Russian in the chat, which I'm having a lot of trouble actually understanding.
Carson сейчас будет играть с Effortless.
Yes, indeed. So, Carson is indeed about to play against Effortless. Hell yeah. Karpad, you'll get your turn. Don't you worry. Was it Carson with a 0? It was Carson. Anyways, what am I don't know what I'm doing. I'll set up some stuff, you know, in the thing. Set up stuff already for the stream for the upcoming match, and I think really this is going to be the first real standout, you know, where we might be seeing something extremely close. If not, you know, at least extremely close, it's still going to be very entertaining. Broom's games definitely weren't entertaining. My man just defragging all over the place. And let's see. What is this? This is the semifinals already. We moving quick today. We moving really quick today. Now, is this the semifinals? What? Yeah, it is. It is the semifinals. Hot damn. Effortless versus Carson. That's right. Yeah, so for those wondering, Effortless actually moved recently, which is why he was missing for some time. And now, yeah, he's apparently that's all been done. Hopefully, he is feeling pretty good at his new home, and he's ready to start quaking again. Hola, Leaks! Nice to see you. The players are just right now deciding on the server they're going to be playing on, because it looks like Effortless is like more East Coast-ish, whereas Carson's more West Coast-ish. So Central it is. We found a compromise. We did it, guys. Didn't even take a fight. We resolved it very peacefully. Actually, just realized I selected the wrong thing. Do we have a spectator link? Not sure. I'm not sure if they're doing the picks and bans yet. Carson versus Effortless. They are. They are indeed doing the picks and bans. I'll show them on the screen momentarily. There they are. First map to be played is going to be again Deep Embrace, picked by Effortless. This means we're going to be able to look at the Easter egg where we can see Effortless's signature written on the wall, as well as I guess a little tribute to somebody special in his life. Map number 2 is going to be Corrupted Keep, and map number 3 is going to be Veil of Noth. Strog and Peeker coming out from Carson. Effortless going for Athena. Again, that Athena pick. I really like that Athena pick by Broomsley. What he ended up doing is not only just getting a great champion for himself, but also denying it from Effortless. Corrupted Keep is going to be Ranger versus BJ Blazkowicz. Very standard picks. Nothing really surprising there. Both players, in my opinion, just get a really good champion for that map. And Velonov is going to be Keel versus Scalebearer. Effortless on Scalebearer. Hot damn. Hot damn. We don't see a lot of Scalebearer either. As I said, like the North American scene, they really seem to enjoy kind of a little unorthodox picks, or, you know, so it at least seems for the Europeans. Scale is pretty much completely unpicked whatsoever in Europe. Carson, I think, definitely can take the series. I would not be surprised if he does. I think it's going to be a very tough game for him, but he absolutely can win the series. There's no doubt about it. Right, we are back on Deep Embrace. Also, I gotta show the super secret. Can you see it? I can't zoom in, unfortunately. It says RXY, a heart symbol, and then EFF. RXY is somebody very special for Effortless. And they have a little heart symbol on this map. EFF, of course, standing for Effortless. Ooh, actually very good engagement there for Carson, and immediately going for that spawn damage there. Effortless already. A bit of a peculiar spot. Carson missing out, actually hitting the ball. Ooh, slight hesitation there. Carson doesn't go immediately for the spawn damage, but what he sure as hell does is just like, this movement is... He puts the smooth in movement. Somebody needs to put the smooth in my speech patterns. Look, I don't follow people's like personal lives, you know. I know that I know that they were together. I don't know like whether they were engaged or like married or stuff like that.
Was that supposed to be a challenge?
If you get the secret mega, it changes to ZSX. What? Hold up, guys. Karsten is absolutely just destroying Effortless right now. There's like I knew that like Carson's gonna do well. I did not expect that, like 1 minute and 30 seconds in, Carson to be 7 frags up. Finally, all it took was Carson to miss pretty much everything for Effortless to regain some control of the map. I can't. If you get the secret mega, you get ZSX. What does that even mean? Like, does Dan just climb out of the crate? And the game becomes like a 1 versus 2 or what? Oh. Oh boy. Effortless now, actually, wow, great trap there by Effortless. Carson, he's able to retrieve the rail, and which is going to be very critical. Oh, yeah, shots like that, Carson does not miss. Carson, I hope I don't jinx it again, where I say that, like, Carson's not a very flashy player, and then he's just gonna hit, like, some absolutely ridiculous stuff. But, yeah, he's generally not a very flashy player. He just gets the job done, you know? Lines up his shots, like, nice and smooth. Plays just a very solid game, and so far, yeah, there's nothing really, you know, that's... Nothing that he's doing, you know, which would be like, you know, utter insanity. It's just that he's doing very solid execution, not making any mistakes, doing all the right calls. And that's allowed him to now be 8 frags in the lead against I think one of the tournament's favorites this week. Very messy fight, almost killing Effortless. Literally 1 point of health remaining on the Athena. Effortless doesn't even have a rocket launcher, doesn't even bother going for the rocket launcher. Carson gonna get another mega health. Carson, I didn't know you could even cancel that jump pad like that. It looked like he just stopped midair, like this is Quake 1 or something. Oh! And here we see the difference between the two players. Effortless just spin around like a goddamn helicopter. It spins any faster, he's gonna go vertically up the map and I don't know. Straight to God knows where. He's just becomes ascended. 1 health again on Effortless. Carson misreading Effortless position, and still that was what, 3 rails at 1 point of health? How the hell does he do that? Carson, however, he gets a much better spawn right next to heavy armor where all the weapons were already from the previous fight. 5 to 11 now. Effortless, he's not out of the fight, going for an LG duel, doing pretty damn good damage, but he was just lacking when it comes to the stack. And well, that's of course one of Strog's strong points, you could say. Oh, that was so bad. I'm sorry. That pun, please just stop. Stop me. Effortless actually gonna call GG 5.5 minutes in. Damn. Very good performance by Effortless so far. Sonny, please, you can't say that. You can't say that. Actually, yeah, the only 20% voting for Effortless. People really do be rooting for Carson. They want to see him go up against Dramis and finally take him down. Corrupted Keep. Corrupted Keep is going to be map number 2. I don't think Effortless has even played against Carson all that much, and I think there may have been kind of a shock element where he may not have expected, you know, just such strong play. Like, there was 0 real errors coming out from Carson. Just very smooth, very precise calculated play. And I don't think Effortless was ready for that, really. Had to slow the game down a little bit, and well, the frags that we did see from Effortless, they were noteworthy. Do not get me wrong. An Effortless frags, oh, the world better be watching. Anyways, Corrupted Keep. Corrupted Keep is map number 2. Predictions are up for the next 2 minutes. We are starting out on Effortless, on Ranger immediately. We have a fight. Carson just stops. Doesn't even care about the incoming damage. He just stops and fires. His aim is true and precise. People in chat rooting for Carson. That's also a good point, Sonny. If anyone could randomly throw the first game and destroy the second, it is Effortless. That is true. Carson now looking pretty good. Has a little bit of overheal. Has almost the dual wield ready. Effortless. He's already setting up. Good read there by the BJ player. No real damage inflicted by Effortless. Carson, he's taking a lot of damage though as he's trying to approach this heavy armor, almost going down, but the heavy armor was still stolen by Effortless. I think that's still a victory because right now Effortless, he also gets one of the light armors, he gets the LG, gets the heavy machine gun. This is a very good opportunity for Effortless to be doing a refrag. A little bit of a hesitant play there at the start. Ooh, look at these angles. Look at these rocket angles. Dual wield comes out. Rocket spam coming out, but it's not connecting. It barely does over 100 damage. The heavy armor, however, it was stolen by Carson. Again, we have this situation that Effortless now. He's on 88 health. Carson has a spawn stack plus one of the light armors. There is a very real possibility of a refrag. Carson is now gonna get the mega health for Effortless, just trying to scrounge up something on this map. Oh, so much LG damage, but again, the rockets. Carson's rockets are just out of this world, I swear. One to three now. Carson got pretty good timing on the mega health. Effortless not in a position to really contest it. Already pre-firing. Ooh, Effortless going for a very risky play there to actually stick around. I don't think he realized just how healthy his opponent was. This looks like it might be a pretty short run in the upper bracket for Effortless if it keeps going like this. Very close to death once again for Carson, and just barely making that kill happen. But he does pull it through in the end, and now if we're looking at 1 to 6, 3 minutes, 20 seconds in. Effortless, he has all the possibility to be coming back, especially if he catches his opponent off guard like that. Good damage output by Effortless, but it's just not enough. Sorry, by Carson, but it's just not enough to score the frag. Effortless didn't even have to use the dire orb there. And we can now start to see Effortless really respecting his opponent way more than we saw on, you know, than we saw at any other point in this series so far. Carson actually dancing around the middle, trying to catch his opponent off guard. Oh, that's really unfortunate. Just really damn good tracking there by Carson. Dual wield coming out, and Effortless stuck in the red room, almost gets a kill thanks to the dire orb, but it is not meant to be. Carson so incredibly low on health. Effortless not wasting any time going for the rocket jump. Oh, bonk through the teleporter. Effortless, he can't. He says that he can't. I don't know what he can't, but I understand him. I can't. He just like me.
Wake up. You're dead.
That's another direct rocket. Carson, please. How did your rockets become heat-seeking? How did this happen?
All right. Who's next? Coming out.
We do have a third frag by Effortless. That's actually a good point that chat brought up. That, yeah, Effortless, he's been trying to go for the light armors, but he doesn't even have the timing on them, so he ends up forfeiting like major items there. And for what? For light armor, which is not even there. Good opportunity now for our Ranger player. Well, he says he can't. But is that his mind saying he can't, or is that his actual ability? Carson, pretty low. Beautiful. Beautiful execution there. Oh dear, that's not beautiful execution. Messes up the rocket jump. Probably could have continued the chase, or, you know, at least gotten something done. Wisely done by Carson not to try and challenge that. So much L plasma gun. What the hell happened there? Effortless making the push with the plasma gun himself and getting his opponent down to 6 health. Thankfully, BJ, being the absolute American badass hero that he is, he regenerates health. All he needs to do is just sit behind cover for a little bit. As we all know from Call of Duty, which is historically accurate representations of the horrors of war, every American soldier just gets stronger from eating bullets. They just need moments to regenerate. Oh dear, oh dear. Time is running short for Effortless, and he is now 5-13. Down by 8 points. By 8 frags. Dual wield popped by Carson. I mean, honestly, I would not know. I've never served in the military. I am not American. It very well might be true. What do I know about the American soldiers?
Need assistance.
2 minutes remaining and still 8 frag difference. Effortless, just narrowly escaping from Carson's rockets. And can you blame him? Carson has been hitting just insane rockets left, right, and center. These mind games ain't gonna work, and I think we're starting to see this this moment where... Oh, that was really cheeky. Carson has no idea. It's still there. Oh my goodness. Carson had no idea, and out of all the things that... Out of all the things that he decided to go for was the gauntlet. Oh man. But yeah, this has just been really solid play and really solid rockets. Effortless pulling out the ping card, and you know what? Carson agrees. You know what? So do I. The game is definitely incredibly much more enjoyable when you can play the game at like a lower ping than, you know, anything lower than 50 feels just way different. I don't know what it is, but these players, they have a point. I absolutely agree with them. I don't think, however, that changes the fact that this victory for Carson is well-deserved. Just great performance overall. Very good performance. Yeah. Did I forget to change the thing? I did forget to change the thing. 2-0 for Carson. Who the hell expected that? 2-0. Oh, 61% voting for Effortless. Oh, Carson fans, let's go. We winning some points today. This is a travesty. It says Brutal Sky in the chat. It definitely was a travesty for Effortless. Hell yeah, Cudbud. That's right. We're all here to watch. We're all here. To watch Carson take on the Grandmaster himself, Dramis. Speaking of Dramis, he should be playing up against Anarchy right now. I do wonder if Church of Quake is streaming that. Let me check what is going on their side. I think Church of Quake is streaming that. Let me see what I can see. Oh yeah, Anarchy versus Dramis is ending right now. Actually, no, this is just map number 1. All Victory is probably the party lead. Let me see if I can get in there. Yeah, but regardless, I don't think anybody expected to Effortless go down so effortlessly. Oh boy. Carson's a nuisance. How dare you say that? How dare you say that? What the hell, man? Okay, it looks like they are inviting me, so I'm gonna be joining the lobby momentarily. Ooh. Right. I am in the lobby. Which means we are loading in. We are loading into map number 2. Which is, yeah, map number 1 was Ruins of Sarnath. It was Dramis versus Anarchy, and if I'm not mistaken, it was a pretty decisive victory for, oh god, what am I doing? Anarchy won, Dramis. Now, that should be done. What the hell are you guys talking about in the chat? Jesus Christ. I hope I got this correct. Yeah, it looks like I did.
Prepare to fight.
It looks like I did.
Round begins in 3, 2, 1. Fight.
I'll set up the predictions. I can't see what's happening on the screen, so you'll have to excuse me. There we go. Predictions are on. We got Anarchy going for the orbs. Dramis are very uncharacteristically for him missing those close range rockets. Anarchy, he's a pretty rail heavy player himself, so not usual to see him miss like this himself. I'm sorry, I was reading Andrew Clarence copy pasta. That's priceless. That's actually priceless. You know what's also priceless? This ass whooping that Keel is dispensing upon Ranger right now. Drum is showing off.
Stopwatch. Stopwatch. Time.
Oh my god, I wish we had the yeah, I wish we had chat overlay on the stream itself so that we could
Come the fireworks.
we could retain that copy pasta in the chat forever. Forever in eternity. Oh, Anarchy. Oh boy, he's having a bit of trouble there.
Scrub alert.
Very clean 4 frags for Dramus now. Maybe the first one was the only one that wasn't really clean, but so far it's just been spiraling out of control. Also, Slash is not in chat to correct me about how I'm mispronouncing Anarchy.
Fireworks.
Complete control of the map is what Dramus has established so far. Anarchy trying to contest it, trying to drop onto that heavy armor, but he's just gonna be pushed away. Swatted like a fly. Ooh, I like that rocket combo. Doing a pretty good job of just like dancing around this pillar. And still, Anarchy actually getting that frag in the end. However, he's left so low, he's even has to retreat to the armor at the lower LG there. Wait, does he know that Mega is still up? He should check that. Well, now he definitely knows. Well, there we go. Took him a bit of a moment to turn around, but he did. Rails exchanging for both players. Anarchy 1 health. We're once again seeing so close. 1 health escapes. Anarchy, that's all he needs. 5 health. And the rail. That's the second frag for him. But he's taking some damage. Still just bleeding. Oh, it's a very good play there by Dramus, realizing that his opponent is going to be going through the teleporter and already setting up in the rail room. Heavy should be coming up any moment now. Anarchy just doesn't have the stack, doesn't have the weapons really to contest this, especially after he ate that rocket. Did a pretty good job at it, but wasn't really the objective of his game plan, I'm pretty sure. Again, just catches his opponent off guard. Oh my goodness, look at those plays. Exploding the rockets right on the pillars and then like, oh, that was so beautiful. So beautiful. Question now is, what can Anarchy do to really start making a comeback here? As we've seen, the high ground doesn't really help him. The high ground generally on Veil is... it's a winning strategy, you know? From the high ground you can achieve so much, but like, look at this. Like, how is Dramus with the LG? Like, there's barely Anarchy's head showing, and Dramus is still hitting just incredible LG. Anarchy trying to get a frag right off spawn, thinking that maybe an all-out push is all he needs, but even that is not enough. He's gonna need more than an all-in. Close range rails, that's a signature move from Dramus. This is spiraling out of control very, very quickly. Even this rail just still connecting. Ramus is hitting all the shots. He's constantly cutting Anarchy off from every possible corner and hallway that he would want to go to. Spawns are being exploited in full force. Anarchy, it feels like he's trying to slow the game down, trying to just like give himself some breathing room, and he's finally gonna be able to get a third frag on the board, but Dramis, right off the spawn, back for some blood, back for revenge. Ooh, another pretty favorable LG duel there for Anarchy.
Try to keep up.
Just utter domination. Dramis is... I'm trying to figure out now who learned from who, you know? Did Carson learn his rockets from Dramis? Or is it the other way around? Because goddamn, like, Dramis' keel on Vale has been...
Here come the fireworks.
It's been a pretty... No, Brooms, I did not say that. I said utter domination. There's a T. Utter domination. What the hell? What's wrong with you, brother? Brooms, man. I'll later rewatch the VOD, and it turns out I actually did say it with a D, and I'm gonna be very embarrassed for the rest of my life. Oh well, such is my life. But yeah, Dramis. Not really much to say about it. It's just the match is so one-sided that it does not matter what Anarchy does at this point. He could be hitting like 100% LG, 300% rail. He probably just doesn't have the time anymore to achieve anything.
Man, I could do this all day.
At least significant in terms of the outcome of the match. You have to appreciate, though, you really have to appreciate how smoothly Dramis is handling his opponent. Hitting rails, just constantly cutting off choke points. Beautiful plays all around.
I come bearing gifts.
Impressive. Combo kill.
Well, 6-25. What a way to go. Wait, is that... That's 84% rail on Dramis. What the hell? What the actual hell? 84% rail on Dramis. Brooms, don't make me do this. Brooms, my dog. Please. But there we go. You know what this means? This means that we're in the upper bracket finals, and we're gonna be seeing some Dramis versus Carson. Carson sees his opportunity to take on the Giant. Anarchy making a sad face, saying, see you guys in lower bracket. You guys in chat are very talkative, but you're... Oh boy, are you guys distracting. Oh, we got Cthulhu as well here. Also known as Cookie. Also known as Deliberate Murder. So yeah, this is going to be a match streamed on all three platforms. Church of Quake, Chef TV, and Deliberate Murder. Carson versus Dramis. It is a battle of the ages. Battle of... yeah, it's something that we've seen quite a lot. And it's always exciting to watch because the matches are unbelievably close. The players are doing their picks and bans now, and we shall look at them right now. Blood Covenant is the first one to be out, followed up by Corrupted Keep. Carson going for Deep Embrace. I can't blame Dramis for banning Corrupted Keep after what he did to Effortless on that map. Yeah, makes sense. Carson, he is kind of one of the players that doesn't really seem to like playing Blood Covenant. I haven't seen much of him there. Whereas Dramis, I think he's a little bit more versatile. You know, he can play Athena there, he can play Slash, he can just play so much more there, and he can still have full control of the map. So, not blaming Carson for banning Blood Covenant there whatsoever. In a similar manner, Molten Falls gets banned, another pretty wide open map. Another, like, also a map where you can just establish complete, like, full control of the map, you know, even to a point where you're denying the light armors, you're just not allowing your opponent to basically play the game. First map to be played, as I said, Deep Embrace. I do think this is Carson's one of his stronger picks. I am interested to see what exactly Carson is going to be banning here. Actually goes for the Keel ban. Good choice, because we have seen Keel being played by Dramis both on Deep Embrace and on Veil. And, well, I guess he's going to be able to, you know, cut Keel out of both maps in a single ban. Good choice for him. Dramis immediately replying with the Strog and Peeker pick, which seems to be favored by both players. That might be a little problematic for Carson, as he generally seems to be wanting to go for that. But Ranger is what he goes for in the end. Dramis going for the Eisen ban on Veil. Sonny, you don't have to tell that to everyone. Come on, dude. We both agreed it's gonna be funny. What happens in Baldur's Gate stays in Baldur's Gate. Not really. For those wondering, yes, me and the Sonny have been playing Baldur's Gate, and it's quite the experience. We're both just horrible people. But we try our best. Carson going for that old school Galena pick. That's right, Sonny. Again, I did everything and you just sat in the chair and watched. Hey, look, in the end, you agreed it's fine. So, don't blame me. Oh, Drum is going for the Death Knight pick. What? What is this? I mean, okay, of all the maps currently, I do think Death Knight is probably kind of playable on Veil. I just don't... I don't get the pick when it comes to against Galena. It doesn't really serve any real purpose. I do wonder if just picking BJ would have been a safer option. In the end, on Ruins of Sarnath, it's going to be Dramis on Slash and Carson on Anarchy with a Sorlag ban. So, I mean, I don't know if I agree with this Death Knight pick. You are the best at warming the chair while somebody else does something for you. You are the best at that, Sonny. I can't deny that. I don't have to agree with it. I just have to embrace it, I guess. Then again, in the hands of Dramis, DK, like, we've seen what Dramis can do with Keel, you know, when you give him just so much burst damage potential. We've seen what he can do with Keel. Arguably, DK has the same, if not just a little bit more burst damage potential. But he also has, I don't know. No, Keel is just a better pick. I'm sorry. Keel is just a better pick on Veil. I mean, Keel was banned, so there's nothing really you can do about it, but... Right now, we're just waiting for the players to decide on something. I guess server, I guess just ready up, something along those lines. Yeah, they're deciding on the server. I'll be right back. I just want to get water. Psycho Zeno Pineapple? Is that like Rom's alt account or something? Anyways, I want to go get water real quick before the match starts, and... yeah. Also forgot to close the previous predictions. Veil.
Eliminate the target.
Prepare to fight. Round begins in 3, 2, 1. Fight.
Right. Map number 1 of the upper bracket finals. We're starting out on Dramas in the red corner, playing Strogan Peaker against Carson's Ranger. Ranger immediately going for the Dire Orb. Both players very low, but Dramas Rockets reign supreme. And actually, the refrag coming out from Carson. Ooh, Dramas very low on health. Carson making an aggressive push with the LG. Also, what is going on with the spectator? There we go. Carson trying to get some damage done, but he's losing out in this exchange against Dramas. Again, playing a pretty conservative game here. Gets stuck on the pillar there. Very unfortunate. It's going to be all of his armor reduced to ashes. Ooh, nice double back there by Carson, but or was it a nice double back? He just doesn't really have this. He doesn't have the stack to really sustain this kind of a fight. Dramas is missing shots. Carson barely getting away. It works out in the end. The question now is, what will Carson be able to do? He's going to be able to hit 2 great rockets, make that a 3rd. Takes a lot of damage in the process, though. Thankfully, a lot of the health bubbles have been have returned. Good use of the Peaker and rail combo there. I swear, Drama's shaft is just way longer than anybody else's.
Creature.
Ooh, Drama's making a very quick move over to Mega Health. Beautiful LG into Rocket into Rail combo. Ooh. Which other player does this consistently? As good of a start that was for Carson. Dramas is clawing his way back. He's upset. He ain't letting victory to be snatched from his hands just so quickly. And oh dear, that's very unfortunate. 10 health. That's just enough for 2 shots from the starting machine gun to prove to be fatal. Oh, even that rocket hits. That's gonna delay Carson getting to this heavy. It's gonna mean his stack is gonna be way lower. Has to already start retreating. Dramas didn't even have the railgun there. The weapon of his choice. Good use of the tri-bolt there, just even for area denial. Carson, he's left with pretty much nothing. He's standing in the middle of the map and he's just gonna get absolutely annihilated. Decent attempt there by Carson to just run away with the shotgun, but again, just so much damage coming out from Dramas. Carson is trying to get anything on the map, but all he's getting is just more Dramas. Dramas now able to get the heavy armor, and this entire time the splits between the items have been significant enough that this rotation is really starting to become very problematic for Carson, where he just can't really get anything. Even if I honestly think that at some point it's not even worth for Carson to be fighting back in these scenarios, because he ends up just taking away some of Dramas' stack, which means that he can then pick up all the light armors, and Carson has just nothing to even work with. Through the floorboards. Oh dear. Not in time for denying the mega pickup, but still gets the kill. 4 to 12. Yeah, this is completely out of control now. And wait, Dramus has mistimed it himself. Did he mistime the heavy for the mega? That's what it looks like. You don't get to see a lot of such mistakes, you know, from a player of his caliber. But they do happen from time to time. Dramus now... Yeah, he's already making his way over to heavy. But he's quite early and he's not sure where exactly his opponent is. He's gonna get one rail, gonna get some damage with the peeker as well. Thankfully, Carson he didn't really have the orb either, so I guess he couldn't really do an aggressive push into the heavy room in the first place. Amazing LG coming out from Carson. That's gonna give him his 5th frag. Mega health immediately there to back him up. 2 rails for Carson. Needs the 3rd one. Or even a stray rocket might help him there. Ooh, Drum is actually still getting the railgun spawn. Sonny, the slide hacks that you're talking about, it's called all that Quake 4 experience. Literally, Quake 4 is the best Quake. Sue me. Oh, what a play by Carson! Drum is so low on health. But he's unable to find the killing blow. Finally! We're gonna have a railgun. Bit of an overkill for that scenario, but Carson's clawing his way back. 7 to 12 now. 1 rail connect for Carson, 1 for Dramis. Oh, and now it's starting to fall apart. Oh dear. Good read on Carson's position. Oh, but the gauntlet! The gauntlet into the machine gun is what kills Dramis. That was insane, LG actually coming out from Dramis there. I just want to point out that Carson picked up mega health mid-fight and still ended up almost going down with only 20 health left there. And yeah, well, time's running out for Carson, and he has to start making pretty aggressive pushes where, you know, Dramis, he's at a huge advantage here. 6 frag difference. I don't think this is gonna be happening anymore. Both players very low. Dramis winning another LG fight and even getting the spawn damage. Pushing Carson away from the rail. It was picked up. Ooh, Dramis screaming for his life. Takes the final rail. Goes down. But yeah, it's 1 minute, 6 frags. And Dramis has the stack advantage. And Dramis doesn't miss rails. It's only 68% rail. There we go. Carson is going to finish the map with his 11th frag. The final score is going to be 11-8. Dramis at 65% rail. Both players on 50% LG. But significantly more shots fired by Dramis. Rockets seem to be about equal on both players. GG's. It is not going to be Deep Embrace where Carson will get the victory over Dramis. Not yet. 51-49% we were in the predictions. But that was just map number 1. Now it is going to be Valen Noth, Galena versus Death Knight. In the global chat we already have... Oh dear god. We have some angry Russians. Wait, why did it say to me that it's a 51-49%? Because I don't know, dude. I don't understand how Twitch works. Oh, I forgot to change the map name. Okay, whatever. Hold up. No, like, Tomo, seriously, like, I'll show you the global chat. Like, there are some real angry Russians there. Like, I'm not joking. Like, what is this? Yeah, Tomo's chill. Tomo's chill as hell. I don't understand much Russian, but I know that this is pretty angry. Anyways, yeah, we had a bit of a issue with the lobby. It seems like Carson was not pulled into the game, which is weird. Hopefully, better luck this time. Okay, there we go. Carson's in the lobby. No more bugs. Ram is spinning his gauntlet. It's a pretty long warm-up. I guess, oh yeah, probably one of the other spectators might be taking some time to load in. But yeah, I do want to see what Carson's going to be able to do here. I think Galena does play to his strengths, but Dramis, as we've seen, the burst damage potential, it's a lot. The DK pick is not something I agree with, but I can understand.
Round begins in 3, 2, 1, Fight.
Oh, Cookie was loading, also known as Cthulhu. Also known as our Russian colleague over at the Deliberate Murder channel. Dramis, we're starting out on Dramis. He's wasting no time hitting crazy rockets. Carson, he had just, what, the heavy machine gun? That's a terrible start for him. I was asking, what is the Carson gonna be able to do with Galena here? The answer is nothing, at least at the very start. He has a totem on the upper ground, but he's eating so much damage. 2 beautiful rockets by Dramis. He is gonna be forced away by the rail of, Carson. But for how long? Because Dramis, he's already restacked. Carson's totems are being destroyed. Dramis, he has full weaponry, so he's not in a bad position. The items are coming up at pretty much the same time. Question now is Carson gonna come through the teleporter? Please don't. Thank you. That would have been a suicidal move there.
Impressive.
Ooh, nice defense. Very good defense there. Perfect defense there by Carson. Dramis, he's going to be able to find at least some health bubbles and a light armor shard. Oh, but the tri-bolt! Oh my goodness. These players, they just keep styling on each other more and more. Trying to one-up each other. Carson, he finds Dramis trapped. Does not dare to go through the teleporter. Can you blame him? Can you blame him? So close to death, but not enough. And Rom is preparing for the PTS stuff. Ooh, Carson actually delaying the Mega now quite considerably. 8-second difference. I don't know if Dramis heard it or not. That's another totem at the teleporter exit. Dramis, his armor is looking really good, so he should be able to take at least, if not a full fight, then at least the pot shots like these. Dramis has been able to push Carson away from the heavy armor. Carson already setting up for the Mega. Looks like we're gonna have a bit of a stalemate. Oh, as I say that, Carson hitting some insane amount of damage with the LG. How is Dramis hitting these rails? It's insane. That's actually insane. It feels like there's barely anything of Carson visible on screen, and Dramis is just still hitting stuff left and right. Dramis almost dying to the totems, no less. If this was PTS, he'd be dead. For those wondering, PTS stands for a public test server, and there's currently being changes being tested for Galena, Death Knight, and Scalebearer. Dramis available. Tries to take one last pot shot, retreats as he senses the mega health coming up. Both players so incredibly low, and again Dramis gets away with barely anything. Just so much damage coming out from both players. Carson trying his best to just make at least one frag. Rom is still hitting miracle rails. And the situation has been pretty much reset. Carson making quite a lot of noise. That's not going to do him any favors. Drum is well aware of where exactly his opponent is. Ooh, had Carson actually stuck around with that, he could have tried for another rail and scored his first frag as he slightly mistimed the heavy armor. But no such luck for him. Carson going for the exceptionally safe play. A trap sprung. Drum is waiting around the corner with a sword in hand, covered in flames. Carson gets away screaming for his life. Ooh, this looks like it's a very clean fight for Carson so far. No real damage inflicted by Dramis. Carson's gonna even be able to find the light armor. There we go. His first frag. 5.5 minutes in. It took a lot of work, but look at this. We're very close to actually having an overstack situation. Carson, he still has some weapons. I don't think Dramis has rail, which is critical. The LG is not connecting so far. Carson, he has to pick up some rockets. Oh dear, this is going not great. But look at those rockets. They're not. The final rocket doesn't connect, but it wouldn't have mattered anyway because Dramis was still on 129 health. A direct would not have finished him. Oh no. Worked so hard for that one frag and it's just all of that effort taken away in a matter of seconds. Carson, again, very low. He's gonna get the mega health. Dramis keeps hitting those weird shots through the floor railing. How does he do that? Nobody knows. He just does. The craziest thing is, like, some people in chat were talking about the fact that the Dramis he's playing on super high sensitivity. The real question is, how does Dramis play so smoothly at this sensitivity? Oh, good trap by Carson, even throws the totem. Almost scores a totem kill there. This is starting to smell like a comeback. There's still time. There's an opportunity. Drum is falling for literally exactly the same trap. But this time the totem was there to help him out. 40 damage. Right up Dramis' butt. As he just falls on the totem. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. The rockets just did not connect. Did I jinx it? Did I actually jinx it? The butt damage. I mean, it did look like, it did look like this, Death Knight kind of just landed on the totem butt first. Carson hitting some pretty good rails, but... I mean, there's still time for Carson to really get himself back on the map. Dramis, he's gonna get the light armor. He might pick up this... Yeah, he gets the mega health as well. Carson, unfortunately, he's just still getting hit by these rockets coming out from just ridiculous angles. All of the totems, I think, at this point have been removed from the map. Carson's not gonna have anything to regenerate upon. 1 minute, 10 seconds. Carson has to start making plays right now. The the heavy armor picked up by Dramis. 30 health. Damage inflicted by the Tribolt. Every point of health right now counts for Carson. He's still over at the mega health. One Tribolt versus one rail. I think that's still not great. Carson has to do so much more damage and he can't really take anything in return. Dramis has gone ultra defensive and it's working so far. He's reading his opponent's position just perfectly. He's gonna hear the heavy armor pickup, slowly just sneaking around, not making any noise. You can even see him. Oh my goodness, Carson checks every corner except the one where Dramis is actually at. This might be the final frag of the match, but with only 15 seconds, I don't think Carson has the time. Although, okay. Whatever. A valiant effort by Carson, but yeah, Dramis, he's just too good. It's just too damn good. That was map number 2. In the upper bracket finals, which means I think this was the upper bracket finals, right? I'm not delusional, right? Yes, that was the upper bracket finals. Let us actually look at... what am I doing? What am I doing? I need the brackets. Yes, let us look at the brackets to see how things have escalated. So, a lower bracket. Lower bracket is where we're going to be headed next. We are looking at currently Breakage versus Anarchy is supposed to play. I don't know. Is any one of them streaming? Breakage versus Anarchy happened in the upper bracket round. Basically, that was their first game of the tournament, and now they're meeting again in the lower bracket. So hey, I think it's meant to be that they have to play a game. That's the lower bracket semifinals, and then in the lower bracket finals, we're gonna have Breakage or Anarchy facing off against Carson. The question now is... is anybody streaming the lower bracket game? Let us peruse the Twitch to try and find out. Who do we have? I don't think we have... Yeah, no, they're not. It's not being streamed. I'm sorry, guys. It's just not being streamed. Wait, what? Hold up, you're right. Breakage won against Effortless. Hold up. Breakage won against Effortless. That's an upset, I think. Hot damn. Kuru taking down Broomsley, that's also quite surprising. I would have thought that that would be in Broomsley's favor. Hey, we got upsets left and right. Anyways, yeah, we don't really know what is the status of Breakage versus Anarchy. Let me see in the game. Are they in the menu? Are they in the... They are currently in game. So what I think we'll do is we'll take like a 2-3 minute break. We'll be back, and yeah, we can... then we can resume with the lower bracket finals. I'll see you momentarily. Right, we are back, and actually the timer ended up being just perfectly lined up with when the lower bracket match ended. Looks like Anarchy ended up victorious. Unfortunately, it was not streamed. Neither Breakage nor Anarchy was streaming. All of us were in the upper bracket. Gosh darn it. And, well, we didn't see it. It probably would have been a really good match, all things considered. But still, it does mean we're now going to see Carson versus Anarchy, and then the winner is going to take their chance to go up against Dramis again. Regardless of if it's going to be Anarchy or Carson, it is going to be a rematch. Dramis, once again, just plowing through the bracket completely uncontested. Somebody misspelled Anarchy? I don't know. His name is Anarchy with like an O, and it's very confusing because like there's some people saying to me that like, oh, you're pronouncing it wrong. How the hell are you supposed to pronounce it when you're speaking English? Like in any other language, it would be trivial, you know? English? No. Because you guys don't have a proper R letter. It doesn't exist. Just ask him. I don't know, man. Sounds like too much effort. You know, he's gonna try and write it to me, and then I'm still not gonna understand it. I'm gonna be like, could you write it? Like, could you send me a voicemail? Yeah, like, you see, like, that's the thing, like, Tomo, like, in a lot of European languages, and if I'm not mistaken, in Russian as well, like, the R is always, like, you roll it, you know? Like, it's an R. You know, you hear that sound? That's how you pronounce an R letter. In English, horrible. It's horrible. Like, it's I don't get it. I don't get it. It's a pet peeve of mine. Anyways, the players are making their picks and bans. We are in the lower bracket finals. Carson versus Anarchy. What can we expect here? What can we expect here? What we can expect here is Ruins of Sarnath to be the first map, and I'm calling it. Anarchy, he's gonna play Death Knight on Ruins of Sarnath because he's a weirdo and he likes to play Death Knight on maps where he's not a good champion, where he objectively he is not a good champion. You don't even have an H in your alphabet. It's like, I called it Anarchy playing Death Knight on Ruins of Sarnath. What is your point, Cutbutt? Sorry, I'm jumping between topics, but this infuriates me. You don't even have a proper H. And look, I'm not blaming the Americans. I'm not blaming the Americans, I'm not blaming the Canadians, I'm not blaming any, you know, country which happens to be speaking in English. The problem is the British. Look, can we just agree that the problem is the British? The British? I'm just having fun. I'm just having fun. I could rant for a long time about languages and stuff like that, but that's kind of counterproductive. You know what's not counterproductive? Quake champions. Talking about champions, map number 1 is going to be Ruins of Sarnath. Carson playing Ranger. I mean, yeah, there's like, you know, the Strogg was banned. You know, Ranger is not a bad backup. Death Knight I don't understand what is Anarchy's obsession with Death Knight. It is like, especially on all of the maps on Ruins of Sarnath. What in the God's name is going on in his head? I mean, he's made it work. I've seen him make it work. If I'm not mistaken, he made it work even against Carson himself. But it's still just such a weird pick. Look. Like, Homo, what is this? Like, what am I looking at? Corrupted Keep, it is going to be Eisen versus Galena. Like, this at least makes sense. VJ was banned. Ranger was already picked, so hey, this makes sense. Like, these are just solid picks on Corrupted Keep. Death Knight on Ruins. Come on, guys. What is this? What is going on? I don't understand life anymore. Map number 3 is going to be Awoken, where Anarchy was banned by Anarchy. That's gonna trip me up. That's gonna trip me up one day. Anarchy banned by Anarchy. Yeah, sure. And Carson picking Nix, and Anarchy going for Visor. Anyways, the players are ready and they're loading in, they're right now warming up. No anarchy for Anarchy, right? Oh boy. Right.
2, 1, fight.
Predictions are up for the next 2 minutes. Go ahead and waste your channel points. We're gonna be starting out on Anarchy playing the dastardly Death Knight pick. Whatever the game plan here is, I just do not understand it. I guess you could be setting up quite a lot of traps at choke points, you know. Just destroy your opponent with the flame strike. But it's raining. It's literally raining on this map. This is the only map where it's raining. Why would you try and like use fire on this map? Like, come on, dude. Doesn't even make sense. Anarchy already forced into a defensive position. Carson has complete control over the map, even delaying the mega health even further in order to try and score the killing blow. Doesn't really get to do it. Anarchy living off of just light armors and these 25 health bubbles. Carson cycling these items. He sure be cycling items. Anarchy 1 minute and almost 1.5 minutes almost in. He still doesn't have the rocket launcher. Very aggressive push. Speaking is hard, guys. A very aggressive push by Anarchy, but with no armor whatsoever. I'm not sure what was his expectation there. Maybe he just wanted to delay Carson from taking the mega health and live that way. Doesn't work out. Carson still gets a pretty clean frag overall, and yeah. That was a lot of damage inflicted by Anarchy. Thankfully for him, Carson ended up missing quite a lot of his shotgun blasts. It should be another kill. Shotgun just... It's not listening to him. Carson missing out on quite a lot of those shots, unfortunately. Doesn't seem to be affecting him all that much, because he's just cycling the items one after another. He seems to have complete control of the map, even denies that light armor. I love that rocket jump. Really love that rocket jump. Completely ends up denying the light armor from the map. And yeah. Still complete control. Anarchy, he did take one light armor on the opposite side of the map, but that was immediately denied by Carson's rail, so again, we're gonna see just very defensive play by our Death Knight. And probably a very swift death. There we go. Oh, that's... I want to say that's the best spawn that Anarchy could have gotten there. They got the rocket launcher, got the armor shard, you know. The rocket launcher, I mean the railgun. Did not help him there. The burst damage from Ranger's Dire Orb is rather comparable. Somebody still believes that Death Knight's a good pick on Ruins of Sarnath? Come on, guys. What is this? What am I looking at? Anarchy has been unable to achieve anything on the map so far. Like, Anarchy has gotten one heavy armor 3.5 minutes into the match. And that's it. Not even a single mega. Like... there's just nothing happening. This was the closest that Anarchy actually got to a frag. Although, I might be eating my words. Can you believe it? Our Death Knight finally collected his first mega health. Carson now still in a pretty peculiar position. He does get the heavy armor, but slight hesitation by Anarchy. I don't think he had the rail. So... Such a disappointment. Like, great ability. He wasn't even set on fire. Actually, just terrible champion. Come on, guys. Like...
Five-minute warning.
We might be seeing... okay, never mind. Nice spawn trap here. Unfortunately, a little late to the railgun switch. Like that's going to allow Anarchy to actually get a railgun of his own. And that's the only way I currently see that Anarchy could, like, even remotely get back into this game. He has to hit, like, I don't know, just monstrous streaks of rails, you know, 3 rails in a row for nothing from Carson. Whatever Anarchy's game plan was, well, there's some of those rails starting to connect. 2 for 1, that's 2 for 2. Anarchy starting to lose out on his stack. Carson going for that close range shotgun blast. A good move there. He realized that, well, he pretty much had to go for that, otherwise Anarchy would have gotten the mega health and been able to fight for the next item. But yeah, the ability usage from Carson has always also just been really damn good. It's allowed him to close the distance, and I'm pretty sure at least in 2 instances it's also...
Are you even trying?
It's also ended up dodging the flame strike itself. Good prediction there on the LG. Here's that his opponent does not go through the teleporter. Still lurking around the lower area. No other place for them to be. Oh, that was clean.
Smell of gunpowder.
That was so clean. That LG was also damn clean. Okay. Our poor Death Knight player is now 14 frags down. Not even a single frag for him. Well, but I think yeah, the major item control, it pretty much says everything. 1 heavy, 2 Anarchy even... What happened there? He was looking the completely opposite direction while I was looking at the stats. But yeah, only 1 heavy armor and 2 mega healths. His first mega health was picked up like, what, 4 minutes into the match? when it came to map control, there was... like, it wasn't even close. It doesn't matter if you can do 75 damage in a burst and then, you know, like, set people on fire, because... you're all... like, Anarchy has always been down by, like... nearly 200 stack. And I'm not even exaggerating. Carson's been also, like... it's only 54% rail, but really, the rails that he needs to hit, they just connect. And it's... everything has been going in his favor. Some couple close fights. Actually, we might be seeing the first frag for Anarchy here. There we go. 8.5 minutes. Anarchy is 1 to 16. Gets the Mega immediately after. Do you guys think there's still time?
How beautiful this great mass of death.
There's a second frag. There's still time. Hold your horses, guys. No, like, Jesus. Even that. So close to death. Cutbud was saying that you smell a comeback. Nope. It's not the comeback that you smell, it's something else. Ooh, that was a really fancy flick there.
Come get some.
The final score is going to be 19 to 3. GG, followed by Anarchy. Actually, GG is called by Anarchy, but it's just map 1. It's map 1. Come on, Anarchy, don't give up. Honestly, like when it comes to like the railgun damage difference, it's not that huge, right? We're still looking at, you know, 2000 for 2000. The defensive rockets by Anarchy, however, just weren't there. There were no real traps. Whenever there were traps, he never had the stack advantage. He was, at best, living off of 1 light armor, which just is not enough if you want to take on a fight against Ranger. It could have worked, but he really needed that early control. He really needed that early control, and it just was not there. So that's map 1 for Carson. Map number 2 is going to be Corrupted? Was it Corrupted? I'm pretty sure it was Corrupted. What do we got going on here? Both players are ready. Galena versus Eisen. Like, this at least makes sense. I can understand this. Galena, Eisen, Corrupted? Hell yeah. At least I won't be confused anymore by goddamn Death Knight. Like, every single time I see a Death Knight in a tournament, I just get confused. I don't know what's going on anymore. Like, that's it. My world has been turned on its head. I am perplexed, bamboozled, flim-flammed. Well, Corrupted Keep it is. Map number 2. We're gonna be starting out on Carson, playing Galena in the blue corner against Anarchy, who's had a pretty good run in the lower bracket. Carson so far losing out only to Dramis. A decent LG fight from Anarchy, but actually continuing the push, and I think the step sounds there confused his opponent, thought that he had already left the room, but it was a double back, and now the Eisen player just completely stuck. That's already the second frag. Good move there, right off from the spawn, doing damage. This is what you want to do on Corrupted Keep. Again, just very solid game from Carson.
I will harvest your soul.
Oh, that's an incredibly lucky situation for Carson, where the rocket even pushed him on top of the mega health. Anarchy right off the spawn gun, however, going to keep on pushing. That's going to allow him to get his first frag on board. This is going just a little bit better already for him compared to Ruins of Sarnath. Very good LG push. The totem, however, the totem keeping Galena alive, and Carson getting just a slightly better spawn when it comes to the mega health. Unfortunately, wasn't able to pick up one of the 300 weapons that were located in that battlefield amidst the blood and carnage. Oh, so much LG damage, and the turret is also immediately denied. Will Carson gonna try and get some spawn damage here? No, actually doesn't opt to do that. Anarchy, he's just playing pretty slow now. Getting the rocket launcher, trying to get some weapons before he's gonna really commit to any kind of a play. Probably gonna even forfeit this heavy armor. Weapons are more important in this situation. But he has to be careful, because one of the benefits for Galena... one of the benefits for Galena on this map is that you can kind of just give up the mega side of the map.
I will free you from your shame.
If you establish good control of heavy, and you can build up those empowered totems, once you get 3 of them on board, you can pretty much just play next to heavy, and then you can have a good life, you know? White picket fence and everything. Carson is just also absolutely annihilating his opponent with the LG. Carson finally has been reduced to just 19 health. Ooh, doesn't actually pick up those 2 health bubbles there. He is gonna have a totem, and again, look at that. The amount of stack that he's been able to regenerate from barely any resources whatsoever is honestly quite astounding. Those rockets, both of them look like they went through both players. Anarchy's LG, not really as good as Carson's. You know what? Carson might not even care about the heavy armor. He hasn't visited that part for some time now, and he's just living off of the totems and the light armors. Totems, mega, and the light armors. I don't see how Anarchy is going to be able to make a comeback now. Corrupted Keep, it can absolutely spiral out of control. This map is... For one, it's incredibly, just incredibly small. For another thing is that you can't really play defensively with a rail, because there is no rail. If you get into a fight, you commit to that fight.
Life sustains you.
Carson making good use of those totems. Again, just double backing
But not well enough.
a mid-fight, allowing him to take a pretty good engagement there. Thanks Hafid and Void Pre 99 for the follows. And there we go, we got the triple stacks, the triple totems. It's going to be incredibly hard for Anarchy now to do anything, because whatever fight he's going to be taking, Carson's always going to be able to regenerate just incredible amounts of health. And as long as he doesn't fully commit to, you know, just one straight up fight, you know, where he's taking an LG fight on even ground, and he doesn't leave this area. Look at this. He was like no health. Okay, he lost one of the totems, unfortunately. But he was no health, and then like within 1 second, he's just straight back up to full.
I will not grant you that privilege.
That's insane. That's actually insane. If he never left that part, literally unkillable. Actually, yeah, Carson, he's only got 4 heavy armors. Anarchy, in fact, he's not even been able to get a single mega health.
The gods do not smile upon you.
Even this heavy armor ends up going over to Anarchy, and that's the thing, like, Carson just doesn't care. He's been low on armor for pretty much every single fight, but he's just regenerating so much. I'm kind of surprised that Anarchy hasn't been able to eliminate these totems, because it's not like they're completely out of sight. Then again, Anarchy hasn't been able to even push into that part of the map without, you know, having his face melted off. I'm talking about face melting off, Jesus. There we go. Anarchy has had enough. 22 versus 3. He's gonna call GG's. Solid performance by Carson. Very well done. And you know what this guys means. It is our weekly weekly Dramas versus Carson match coming up. In fact, the second one today already. We had some pretty good matches there. Carson versus Dramas. No one saw this coming. Hey, some people were like, when Effortless was playing, the votes, they looked like they were definitely gonna be going very, like, just looking at the votes, it definitely looked like Effortless was gonna be winning some stuff there. And Carson's gonna be sent to the lower bracket, and, you know, maybe we would see, maybe we wouldn't even see like a rematch for Carson. Because Effortless and Carson, they were on the same bracket. Next thing you're going to tell me, Dramas wins again. Preposterous. Impossible. Anyways, yeah, we are in the grand finals. And if I'm not mistaken, the players are making their picks and bans right now. Never mind, not yet. Not yet. Carson needs 1 minute. So, but that's going to resume shortly. Is it gonna happen? Is it finally going to happen? You're a certified hater, Sonny. I know. We all know you don't like fun. Dear God, you actually like Rome. Nice. Classic 1 minute BRB, then 5 minutes AFK and almost ready. Yeah, it sometimes be like this. I mean, we can look at the brackets in the meantime, you know, waste some time while the players do their thing, whatever it is. They're not doing picks and bans yet, but yeah, this is the adventure that we have gone so far. The result for the lower bracket final hasn't been updated yet, but that was a 2-0 victory for Anarchy. Otherwise, the lower bracket is, of course, a... what's it called? It is a thing. It is best of one. That's what I'm trying to say. And yeah, we definitely saw some upsets. Like I definitely believe that Carson, he has the skills to take down Effortless. What I did not expect is just a complete clean sweep of 2-0. Effortless showing very little chance of even being able to do anything against Carson. That was a little surprising, you know. I would have thought that, you know, Effortless is going to be able to put up, you know, a real challenge. Maybe it's not his day, maybe, you know, he just wasn't ready for it, you know. Carson did play very well on that match, not gonna lie though. Rome should have been on QPL? What the hell? Can I ban you? This is heresy that you're just spreading here. Holy hell. Somebody put the Rome copy pasta in there. Don't say such things about Rome. But yeah, what other upsets we had? Breakage winning against Effortless as well. That's very surprising. Anarchy versus Breakage. I don't know what the hell happened there, but Breakage ended up losing twice to Anarchy. Apparently those were also 2-0 sweeps. Dear God, unironically you like Rome. That's crazy. I feel sorry for you. Anyways, picks and bans are being done currently by our two finalists. Dramas immediately taking Corrupted Keep out of the equation. Blood Covenant, very standard ban for Carson, I guess. Dramas banning Deep Embrace. I do feel like that is absolutely a respect ban right there. Wait, Sonny, don't tell me that's the match where... Oh my god. It's such a good match, but for the wrong reasons. Oh, wait, hold up. I have to check that link. Oh yes, KeenCon Barcelona 2022. Yeah. It was a close one. Sure was a close one. And we might be actually seeing Molten Falls for the first time on this stream. I'm pretty sure we haven't seen it so far. Carson picking Ruins of Sarnath. And Drum is going for Molten Falls. these moltens can be felled. That doesn't work like that. None of you are gonna understand this joke. Oh my god. Okay, Cutput, like just to put it out there. Like, we like to make fun of Rom. He's undeniably a good player. You cannot get to that kind of a rank, you know, by being a bad player. But it's just, he's just an easy target. It's very easy to make fun of him. I met him at the LAN. He's a cool guy. Like, I have actually no issues with him whatsoever. Yeah, Rom is one of the people who really encouraged me to, like, you know, keep playing Quake Champions and keep casting Quake Champions as well. So honestly, like, I have a lot of good things to say about Rom, and I'm pretty thankful that he's in the community. But it doesn't change the fact that it's very easy to make fun of him. Carson banning Slash. Good choice indeed. I think Carson might be a little upset about not... Actually, no. Carson actually deliberately gave up Strog and Peeker on Ruins of Sarnath. I would have expected Carson to go for that himself, but it's going to be Anarchy versus Strog. That's going to be a pretty interesting matchup. Dramis on Ruins can be scary. It can absolutely be scary, as we saw previously what Carson did against Anarchy, who was playing Death Knight. Yeah, now imagine Dramis hitting 80% rail, which is like, that's not even an exaggeration. Dramis has literally had matches where he hits upwards of 80%. Just today we saw a Dramis hitting 86% rail. And you put the Strog and Peeker on top of that, where you're going to be regenerating health after kills. You're going to be getting so much value out of the Peeker if you're going to be combining it with the rail. Just, yeah, that's a lot. On the flip side, Anarchy does have the advantage that, you know, you don't have to rely as much on those singular light armor shards. You know, you can actually use the inject. If you go out of control, use the inject. You know, you don't have to worry about the mega health as much. You can get out of some sticky spots. So there's value definitely in both of these picks. How this matchup is gonna go, I still believe that, like, it plays in favor of Dramis. Carson, if he's gonna be able to get like a good early lead, not even a huge one, like just a couple frags, he might be off to like a really great start and like already start just pressuring Dramis, but not really going, you know, for frags to try and extend it, just keeping that lead to himself. Molten Falls Visor versus Sorlag. Dramis is the Visor player and Carson is the Sorlag player. The Sorlag is a little surprising. I mean, it's not nothing like completely crazy. Sorlag is a good pick on Molten Falls. Heavy champions in general, as long as you have the movement, they can work on Molten Falls. The critical part is, you know, the spawns, especially right next to heavy. They're, in my opinion, kind of bonkers, but that's just like my opinion. You end up with a situation where you get a frag near heavy and you can be immediately rushed by a heavy champion and there's just nothing that you can do because you're too weak from the previous fight. You actually have to give up heavy, or in some cases you can't even do that because you're like near LG and you physically don't have the time to get away from your opponent because they might be spawning at rail. So it's an interesting matchup. Dramis, that Visor pick is definitely going to help him to try and understand the movements of his opponent. As we've seen, both of these players, they have just immaculate rockets. might be pretty exciting. Awoken, Dramis banning Nyx, Carson going for Athena, and Dramis going for Doomslayer. Kind of interesting to see that Dramis ends up banning Nyx and then ends up playing Doomslayer himself, which is arguably just like... It's like the playstyle you have of Doom on Awoken is pretty similar that you would see on something like Nyx versus Athena, whereas Athena is kind of all over the place, you know, you can do whatever the hell you want. Although I do understand why Dramis made that ban, Carson, he definitely plays Nyx on Awoken. We've seen it this tournament alone, we've seen it previous tournaments, like it's nothing out of the ordinary. Velonoth, again we see that Keel ban, that Respect ban. Dramis gonna be on Aizen and Carson gonna be on BJ Blazkowicz. This is probably the most standard matchup so far. But yeah, we are loading in. Shortly, we are going to be in the grand finals. Dramis, of course, has a one map advantage already.
To fight. Round begins in 3, 2, 1. Incoming forces.
Predictions are up. We're starting out on the player coming up from the lower bracket. Carson playing Anarchy. Hasn't been able to secure any armor to himself so far. He got the Mega Health spawn, and he's kind of cornered himself right now. I don't think he has a safe option out of here. Thankfully, Dramis, he wasn't looking at the teleporter exit, but that could have ended disastrously for him. Carson, and more importantly, however, he hasn't even been able to collect the rail. Dramis, if he drops down with the rail, then doesn't even need the rail. He drops down with the LG, still got the kill. Unbelievably good start for Dramis. Gets the Mega Health as well, and we already have a 10-second split between the major items. So, the next fight that's gonna happen, unless something goes disastrously wrong here for Dramis, he should be able to cycle the items pretty comfortably. In fact, the Peeker is gonna be up for the next fight as well, whereas Carson, he's still gonna be 20-30 seconds away from being able to use an inject. Dramis doesn't have a rocket launcher, but I don't think he's all that much concerned about it. As I say that, the rocket launcher might be coming handy here. Surely he'll collect it now. Nope, doesn't need it. He has a rail. I mean, rail is pretty much a rocket launcher, right? It's a slug launcher. It's just... there's no projectile because it moves so fast. 90 damage on the... on the Peeker, that's insane, and 2 beautiful rails, only 1 for Carson. That's a very clean second frag. Will Dramis be able to get to the Mega Health in time? No, he won't. Again, missing that rocket launcher, can't do any rocket jumps. Perfectly timed teleporter exit there by Dramis. I don't know if that was like, he was counting in his head how long his opponent might take to get to that position, but that was just perfectly executed. Dramis unfortunately misses out on the Mega Health, going for an unbelievably aggressive push, and thankfully for him, the rocket blast is going to push him off of the platform. That's going to allow him to use Peeker very safely. Carson caught looking the wrong direction. And, well, oh no. Even if he gets this heavy armor, at what cost? And he doesn't even get the heavy armor. He just goes down, and Dramis continues hitting rail after rail. Oh, that was a perfectly executed, like, just took so little of self-damage there. You gotta love those micro-optimizations, you know, when it comes to movement, stuff like that. Carson, once again, limping away on barely any health. Heavy's coming up. Drum is gonna fire one rocket, realizes that he's kind of out of position, actually double backs. Once again, catches Carson looking the wrong direction. And Drum is with perfect timing on the Mega Health. Is he gonna go through the teleporter? No, doesn't look like it. Carson, he's still sticking around. Ooh. Dramis, he saw that light armor and had immediate idea of where Carson might be going for. 4 minutes in, almost. We are 0-4 so far. Mega health taken by Carson. Inject also used, and it's a good fight. It's a pretty good fight for Carson, which allows him to take his first frag. He loses out all of his armor. Thankfully, one of the shards is going to be available. Is he going to be on time to heavy? He is, and Dramis is nowhere to be seen. In fact, Carson is going to be on time for this mega health as well. Oh, that could have gone disastrously for both of those players. Dramis probably was thinking that he might be dropping down, but I think just that little bit of confusion there absolutely worked out in Dramis' favor. Gets the 5th frag. Very, very narrowly, but does get the 5th frag on the board. Carson, he does get with the mega health. His shaft is just a little bit too short. Doesn't inflict any damage upon Dramis. Carson again slightly misreading his opponent's position. Great spawn trap there. Carson was thinking about that heavy armor. But then Dramis showed up and said, "You shall not pass. It is my heavy armor." Chasing. That was a really beautiful chase there. Actually gonna go for the rocket jump. That didn't really work out, probably as he intended it to. Very, very clean frags for Dramis. It's so easy to actually fall out of control on this map, I find. Carson taking some self-damage even. That sun is so bright that I'm getting blinded here. Should probably play Quake Champions with sunglasses on. Gotta be like the hang. Dramis, he's not satisfied with just 8 frags. He smells blood and he wants more. And again, still hitting like all of these rails. Just the consistency at which he's doing it is really mind-boggling. 73%. Jesus Christ. 73%. 75% rail. I'm sorry. That's 76 now. Whereas Carson, he's only fired 10 rails? Yeah, he's only fired 10 rails and he's hit 3. That's gotta be infuriating for Carson. Live tweet his rail percentage? I mean, I could do that. Actually, I can't because I don't have Twitter. But yeah, this is pretty decisive. And we have a neutral. Carson does get the heavy armor spawn, and oh boy, is that a gauntlet frag that I smell? Is that a peeker frag that I smell? 8 health on Carson. He got the heavy, he got all of those armor shards, he got everything, and he's left on 8 health. Jesus Christ, it's such an unfortunate engagement for Carson. Even here where he's hitting so many rockets, such good rockets, he just can't finish the kill. And then Dramas channeling his inner Serbian and hitting like 90% LG. This is so over. This is unbelievably over. There are no words in the English language, or in fact any language that we know of, which can describe how over this is.
Stopwatch.
There's still time saying Opti. Is there still time? Carson's trying his best. Hanging on by just by his pinky on the edge of the cliff. How does this man do this? Check him, brains. There's no way this guy's legit. Okay, the percentage has dropped to only 62, but still, just such good performance by Dramas. Up until, like, what, the 7th minute, Carson had fired only 10 rails. And Dramas was everywhere on the map, really. That's what it felt like. Hello, Liker Vinus. Dramito is just vibin'. I suppose you're right. He definitely looked like he was enjoying that match. Right. So, predictions, Dramas, congratulations, nobody voted for Carson. How dare you? I am very disappointed in you guys. I know, 62% rail, that's nothing. Actually nothing. Washed up. No, but seriously, I think... What was it, round 2 or round 3 where Dramas was playing? I think he had 86% rail. On Veil. 86%. It's insane. Actually insane. Map number 2, that's Molten Falls. Well, this is the last call for Carson. If he loses this map, he's out of the tournament. Well, I guess he's not really out of the tournament. He just ends up finishing 2nd, which is still admirable, especially given the fact that he has been able to take down Effortless, Anarchy, Breakage. You know, these ain't bad players. These are solid players. So there's no shame to losing to Dramas, you know. The 99% of the Quake's population, Quake's player base, would lose to Dramas. And I think quite a lot of the players would lose way, way worse to Dramas. Dramis is lucky Rome is in EU. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Rome actually participated in one NA-centric tournament. And Rome did not get very far. To be fair, he was on 100 ping or so, can't really blame him. Broomsley is lucky Rome is in EU. I think we're all lucky that Rome is in EU and the NA guys are saved from his menace. Anyways, map number 2. This is Carson's chance to at least get himself another opportunity to return to a spot where he can really challenge Dramis for the first place. Predictions, by the way, are up. You may go ahead and make your vote with your hard-earned channel points. Ooh, Dramis setting up a trap. He still has vision available. Carson also has his ability. Dramis preemptively pre-firing. Great damage there by Carson. This follow-up rocket isn't there. Dramis actually ends up getting both of the major items, but so much damage inflicted by Carson. That's really a shame to see just how smoothly Dramis was able to float away, given like the trap that was set up, the prediction rocket, the rail, the acid spit, everything was in place. Carson now, he's lost all of his armor. The plasma gun comes a little bit late. I don't know why was he so hesitant to move there. But that cost him the first blood. Vision has been popped by Dramis. He's gonna see where exactly Carson's going, but the problem is that Carson has no idea where Dramis is. That's going to be another mega health. Carson not even remotely in position, doesn't even drop down the jump pad to try and get some information. Already setting up for heavy. This might prove to be fatal for our lizard. Good rail there. Actually, Dramis taking quite a lot himself. Only 100 health. This might be the refrag. There we go. 1-1. Ooh, dropping down onto the mega health, but just 1 second too late and Dramis was already there, and Carson, thank God. I thought he's gonna go up the jump pad and he's gonna get trapped by Dramis' LG. Dramis' LG has become so good. Dramis used to be quite a lot like Stone, in the sense that, you know, he had really good rockets, he had really good rail, like exceptional rail, but you know, then his LG was gonna, like, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't as good as some other players at his rank. And honestly, it's improved so much. Ooh, Carson actually making the rocket jump up, and Dramis, he's still just on 100 health with no armor whatsoever. This light armor might be coming up sometime soon, but that remains to be seen. Perfect time there to pop the vision. Dramis, still no armor. Finally finds some. He is at a 1 frag advantage, and he is getting these time vials, which are gonna be critical. 2 direct rockets into a rail. Beautiful play there. Just perfect execution by Dramis. Stack disadvantage, what's that? Actually, man does not care. Man vibing so hard he killed the dinosaurs without even looking. Carson, he was able to get the heavy armor here. And makes the retreat to the upper parts of the map. Oh, a very untimely drop. I don't... Did Carson even get the rail kit? I don't think he did. The Tribolt's not connecting either. The predictions are good. The predictions are pretty good from Carson, but again, the slight mistimes are what's costing him. Dramis now has a comparable stack to the Lizard, and the damage output is not even remotely comparable. Nothing is connecting so far for Carson. Dramis is hitting, like, I don't know, the tip of, like, Sorlag's tail. How is any of this connecting even? Okay, that was a pretty solid shot. But the damage output is just not even remotely comparable at this point. As I say that, it's only 600 damage difference across a 2-frag difference. Especially like medium versus heavy, so it's not that crazy. Carson. Oh, Drum is bleeding, but he had 14 health before the last tick of damage over time kicked in. This is now Carson's opportunity. He should be able to set up a trap here. Misses the first rocket. Good LG from Dramis. He's able to steal the heavy armor. Carson, he's still trying to hit top to bottom rockets. Unfortunately, doesn't get it. Dramis even going through the teleporter, going for an aggressive rail. Unfortunately, hits the wall right in front of him. Good rocket and another crazy rail combo. It's... How do you stop this man? How do you stop this man? How do you stop this man when you do everything correctly and it's still... It's still not enough. And he's still hitting rails. It's only 56%. It's not that much different, but these rails are coming completely free in a lot of cases because they're at such ridiculous angles. Dramis, finally he's gonna have to back off as he's only 85 health, well within railgun range. Again, Carson holding the high ground, trying to at least deny Dramis from complete control. There's still time for Carson to, you know, get his bearings in order, but that time is slowly ticking out, and it's going to be very tricky when he's already down by 3 frags. At this point, it has to be a frag every single minute, which Sorlag can do. It's not... Wouldn't be anything completely crazy, but oh dear. Missed out on the Mega. Got hit twice by the rail for completely free. This is starting to look very bad. This is starting to look like a GG. Carson running for his life. Dramis with the vision chasing the Lizard. This is why dinosaurs are extinct. It's literally Weiser's fault. Oh, nice double back there. It's actually gonna work? Don't tell me that's actually gonna work. No way in hell that works. Your guys are gonna see a whole lot more of that if the DK changes from the public test server go live. Dramis still, he is just unstoppable at this point. 6 frag difference, minute and 20 seconds remaining for Carson to get anything done. These are probably going to be the moments when the desperation moves start coming out. And the desperation moves include eating rockets, apparently. Make that 7 frag difference. Carson doing his best. He's hitting rails. But he's not getting frags. really like this use of Dramis, Dramis' Tribald. Sakura, it's kind of like Anarchy, but not really. The air control on DK, at least on the public test server, is going to be even better than Anarchy. The flip side is that he's still going to be slower. Dramis ends up killing himself. Refuses to give Carson the frag. But that's GG's. That is GG's. We have our grand champion of NAQCL number 10. It is none other than Dramis. The bad ending, says Cutbud. You predicted Dramis. What do you mean the bad ending? You are so full of it. Oh my god, you're like, oh, Carson, I'm voting Carson. I'm voting Carson. I can see who you voted for. You voted for Dramis. Oh, exposed in 4K, Cutbud. Anyways, guys, it's been a great tournament. It's been a great tournament. Always a joy to see. Always a joy to see Effortless play. Always a joy to see Carson and Dramis go at it. It's been a great week. It's been absolutely a great week. Really well played by Carson, well played by Dramis, well played by Effortless, well played by Anarchy. Breakage also taken out Effortless in the lower bracket. Like, I don't think anyone really predicted that. It's been really, really fun. I don't like interviews, man. Thanks for the kind words, Timmy. Thanks everyone who tuned in. It has been a great tournament this Saturday. So once again, this is a weekly tournament for the North American Quake Champions community. So if you can get AD ping to any of the North American servers, you also can compete in this tournament. There's a prize pool generally of $100, goes up depending on how the donations go, but like, guys, we have a generous donor who's we don't know who he is. He's anonymous. He's just giving us $100 every week to host these tournaments, and it's great. Thank you very much, whoever you are. It's a blast to watch these tournaments, and I think, yeah, the little added benefit of Dramis getting some pocket change. That sounds wrong. That sounds like kind of disrespectful. I don't mean it that way, but that's how it is. It's great. It's really great. Anyways, guys, that's been it for me. My voice is slowly giving out. It is 1:43 a.m. currently where I am. Yeah. Great tournament today. Great tournament yesterday at Stody. That was also pretty damn fun. And I hope to see all of you guys next week as well. Cutbuds, sign up for the tournament. We do need Krung gear and chain and Cygib. And god dang it, if you know anybody who might want to sign up for this tournament, go ahead, let them know. There's no, you know, there's nothing to lose from participating in these tournaments. Cutbud needs a babysitter. I mean, that's a horrible fate that you have there. Rafa is in EU. Rafa did say that he might be joining for a cast sometime. He joined once for a Stody, which was great. That was like really great to have him join us. Me and Rob were there, and it was actually really, really fun. Let me see who I can raid. Who can I raid? Maybe there's somebody playing Quake 3 defrag. Maybe there's somebody playing Quake Live. Woody is playing defrag. Who do I raid? I don't know. I'll figure it out, guys. Anyways, thanks everyone for joining. My name's been Leadhead. And yeah, I'll see all of you next week. Good night, and GG's.